I know the title is a bit dramatic, but please listen. If I had to describe the 21st century with one word, I would use the word personalized. Personalized ads, personalized playlists, smart fridges remembering what you eat, and personalized social media feeds, which are actually a problem unlike smart fridges. Social media is great. Following other people's lives online is almost as enjoyable as following them at night. The thing is, when you watch YouTube Shorts or other short form media, it's much more personalized than your regular YouTube recommendations. So it's also a lot more addicting. And when you have a super addicting algorithm that's designed exclusively for you, you're only exposed to things you like and things you agree with. Now that doesn't sound so bad until you realize that a lot of our opinions are wrong. Like, really wrong. Let's say you really like watching people eat pineapple pizza. Then your feed is going to be full of people who also like eating pineapple pizza. And eventually, you might start to think, wow, pineapple pizza is the best. Anyone who doesn't like it should be executed by firing squad. That allegory got out of hand, but what I'm trying to say is that a lot of us live in echo chambers. In case you don't know, an echo chamber is an isolated community of people who just constantly reinforce each other's opinions. Bitch! If I were to sort of categorize echo chambers, I would split them into three groups: political, philosophical, and hobby echo chambers. Ever had a friend who liked Trump so much they denied or deflected any kind of criticism? They're in a political echo chamber. Maybe someone you know thinks life is meaningless and hates any kind of optimism. They're in a philosophical echo chamber. Maybe there's someone who cares about their looks a lot and they judge anyone who doesn't have a 5-step skincare routine. That's a hobby echo chamber. Falling into an echo chamber is much easier thanks to all the endless content exposure. What makes this so much worse is the fact that when it's so easy to fall into one, people start becoming radicalized. And that's when their echo chamber starts being more than a hobby or an opinion. For example, when you interact with a few beauty posts, the lines start to blur. And instead of seeing content of people who just want to look a bit prettier, you're now watching people talk about how they're getting jaw surgery and that they're a sub-5 incel who will never find love. And yes, I'm referencing Looksmaxxing. I chose Looksmaxxing specifically because it's a great example of a popular echo chamber turning into a trend. And when something becomes a trend, you know who joins in? Companies. Or more specifically, the interns that are running their accounts. And that's when you get something like this.
Okay, team, young people aren't using the Tesco Club card. What should we do? What about you, underpaid social media intern?
I saw this trend where people bully each other for their looks. We could do the same, but with our club card.
Amazing idea. Let's do it.
So yeah, Tesco using a toxic trend to promote itself isn't all that great. And it makes me extra angry because no matter how many Gen Z interns they hire, Tesco or any other company will always be a soulless husk. Speaking of trends, I'm sure you've noticed the Dubai chocolates or Labubus, which are a complete waste of space in my opinion, but I got this one as a gift, so I'm not gonna abuse it out of respect for the misguided soul that bought it for me. What makes these things so special is that I live in Slovakia, that's in the middle of Europe, and I saw two girls wearing these things on their purses. And that's when I realized that Labubus managed to pull off something that is really difficult to do nowadays, and that's becoming mainstream. When a trend breaks through, it usually happens on TikTok. And then it has to stay relevant long enough to make its way onto Instagram. And after a few business months, it finally appears on YouTube Shorts in some horrible disfigured form. So that's pretty much the current social media cycle. But what if we went back all the way to 2017 when the TV was enjoying its last moments of relevance? The way we consumed media was wildly different back then. You had a few hundred TV channels, and if you didn't like them, you could always touch grass. As a European, my TV experience boiled down to me watching a very watered down version of Nickelodeon, which aired shows about 3 to 5 years late. I guess you could say that Drake and Josh were entertaining children through the screen and in person at once. Essentially, the mainstream was pretty well established because everyone saw the same stuff on TV. News channels were pretty biased, but they were still fact-checked to some degree, so the people who formulated their opinions from these channels weren't completely misled. Thankfully, the year 2025 has blessed us with so many reliable sources of information, it's hard to choose, such as Chinese state-controlled media, and the greatest one of them all, podcasts.
So have you ever done DMT?
To be honest, it's really easy to be misled. Being a part of an echo chamber is super easy, and you might even not realize it. It's happened to me, and it's probably happened to you. The best thing you can do is look for reliable sources of information, which there are none, other than me, of course. So, if I were you, I would probably like, subscribe, and support me in any way possible so I can spread the absolute truth even further. Thanks for watching.